Here is a live look right now at Waimea Bay Ocean Safety. They spotted two sharks in the middle of the bay feeding on a bait ball. So the warning signs have been posted, but when it comes to the surf height, well, there were some sets in other places right now on the North Shore, Pete, and not so much.
Yeah, looking a little flatter there, but yeah, you're right. We had 3 to 5 footers in some locations, and that's what we're anticipating for tomorrow as well, even though this image does not show that at all. 1 to 3 for west, south at 1 to 3, 2 to 4 on our east facing shores. We got something off to our east that could produce some big waves as we head into next week, Monday through Thursday. Of course, that is the big story as we continue to track Kiko, a hurricane that's a Category 4 storm now. And the Category 4 storms can produce some big surf. However, this one's a small one, so it may not produce quite the amount of surf that you would normally get with a larger hurricane. So this is a relatively small hurricane. They're still producing wave heights near 14 on average, but maximum heights up to 24. So that energy is all going to be slowly moving off to the west and eventually impact the islands potentially on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Of course, our latest advisory, as we showed you earlier, winds of 145 makes it a Category 4 hurricane there, moving off to the west at 9. This high pressure to the north of the storm is what's guiding it off to the west. This high will break down over the next few days, and that's going to allow the storm to gain latitude or lift a little bit further to the north and west. As we showed you earlier, it's also at the same time going to hit some cooler waters and some wind shear, and that should weaken it. So while in the short term could gain some strength, could get up to 150-mile-per-hour winds, but as we head into Saturday, Sunday, and eventually Monday, that cooler water and wind shear should knock it back down to at least a Category 1 storm. And I think by Monday it might even be down to a tropical storm system, depending on just the impact of this wind shear and just the overall storm structure that develops with Kiko. So let's go ahead and take a look right now at the latest computer models. Still guiding it towards the islands, but still a big spread. Some of the models want to push it north of the islands, some right through the islands, some to the south. So we need to keep a very close eye on it, but again, there's a lot unknown on whether we'll see direct impacts or if it'll just be surf impacts and some rain impacts from the system. We've got another computer model that'll show you some of those rain impacts coming up in just a moment. And we need the rainfall, so one possible great scenario for the system were for it to weaken, fall apart, but some of the moisture move on in. Of course, that could cause some flooding issues, and that's going to be the big threat, but very dry conditions. So we'll see what we get out of it as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For now, very dry out there. It continues to be dry, and those highlighted spots show the drought index situation. And as we move into the weekend, we'll keep it dry. So tomorrow, Friday into the weekend, we'll keep those winds light and we'll keep the conditions relatively dry into next week, Tuesday. This particular computer model shows Kiko approaching, as you can see, potentially bringing heavy rainfall to the islands. Would it bring wind? Well, it's a possibility. It'll be a weakening tropical system at this point. At least that's the most likely scenario. Things can change, but that would be the most likely scenario. It is weakening as it does approach and then eventually push near the islands. Tuesday, Wednesday of next week is the timing right now. Things will change quite a bit. If you haven't prepared for hurricane season, now's a good time. We've got a lot of time between now and Tuesday, so let's prepare for the worst, but we're going to hope for the best, of course, with this system. For now, though, next 5 days, keeping it relatively dry, light winds. Monday, a trade shower or two possible, winds start to pick up, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all depend on Kiko's eventual path.